Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm back with another Magic the Gathering experience. In front of me, I have a run of pre-release kits that took place during the Throne of Eldraine Standard. In release order, it was Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, Ikoria Lair of Behemoths, and Core Set 2021. In some of my upcoming videos, I'm going to open up all 4 of these pre-release kits, crack open the booster packs, hopefully pull some awesome cards, maybe some valuable mythics, and then build a deck that I would have played if I were attending the pre-release event back in the day. In today's video, I'm going to start by cracking open this Throne of Eldraine pre-release pack. So move these off to the side, and I'm going to get into cracking this Throne of Eldraine pre-release pack. If you participated in the Throne of Eldraine pre-release, tell me in the comment section how it went. Did you have a fun time? Was your deck strong? Did you pull any valuable cards? I'm hoping to get the Great Henge out of this pre-release pack. Not even sure if the Great Henge would have been a powerful card in a pre-release sealed environment. When I played in the Throne of Eldraine pre-release event, I did okay. I don't quite remember what my record was. It wasn't a fantastic record, but I think I did a decent job. So I think I got everything that I needed to out of the pre-release kit. Let's close this up. Set it off to the side here. Got the die. It's black with some white grayish flecks in it. There's the Throne of Eldraine set symbol. Let's see if I can get a lucky 7. I got a 9. I guess I kind of spoiled the pre-release promo foil. There's the arena code. I think I'll save that to the very end, but at some point I will share that pre-release code for anyone that wants it. First come, first serve. I don't play a lot of arena, so I don't have a big usage for the codes. Alright, the card divider. Alright, and the 6 booster packs from Throne of Eldraine. Set those up to the top. Alright, I'm going to get cracking into these. Hopefully I can pull something really awesome. Throne of Eldraine was definitely a fun set, one of my favorite sets. Start out with Outflank, Didn't Say Please, Weaselback Redcap, Prized Griffin, Fell the Pheasant, Memory Theft, Knight of the Keep, Redcap Raiders, Mystic Sanctuary. That's got some value. I'll be putting the value of any cards that have a value over $1. Put those right here. And all the rares and mythics, I'll include the value there as well. I think that Mystic Sanctuary is still over $1. Onto the uncommons, Hypnotic Sprite. I really love the adventure mechanic. You can cast the adventure, put the card in exile, and then later on cast the creature side of it. I think I'm spoiling things here. Sir Eleanor the Discerning. Cauldron Familiar. I think that's got a value over $1 still. Great card, featured in one of my mono black Pioneer decks. And Opportunist Dragon is the rare. Don't recall any value on that. Have a foil. Oh, a foil rare, nice. Yorvo, Lord of the Garenbrig. Okay, and then a mountain and a night token. So we'll put the tokens there, put the basic lands there. Let's put rares, foils right here. Get the uncommons here and the commons there. Okay, not too bad of a start. A couple of rares in that pack. It gives me an idea, maybe red, maybe green. Alright, start off with the commons again. Fairy Guide Mother, great common. I really love this. Paired up with Lovestruck Beast in a Selesnya Adventures deck that I play. Runaway Together, Embereth Paladin. Adamant was a mechanic where if you cast a spell and used mana of a singular color, you'd get an extra ability. Shining Armor, Giant Skewer, Wolf's Quarry, Wildwood Tracker, Bacon to a Pie. I remember this card. an instant that destroyed a target creature, and you got a food token. Silver Flame Ritual, Stillgaze Griffin. Okay, on to the uncommons. Set those commons right there. Elite Headhunter, Clockwork Servant, Order of Midnight. That was a pretty fun card too. And Castle Garenbrig. These lands I think are pretty useful. They'll all enter the battlefield tapped unless you have a basic land of the type. I suppose dual land would work, so any land that's got the basic land type. Tap for a singular color, and then later on pump mana into it and get some sort of cool ability. These are great to have in draft and sealed, with a mountain and a goat token. Alright, I like getting that land. I think that's got some value to it as well. That'll speed up here. So Tiny, Bargin, Ardenvale Paladin, Mistford River Turtle, Rosethorn Halberd, Foreboding Fruit, Wicked Guardian, Prophet of the Peak, Scorching Dragonfire, Merfolk's Secret Keeper. This is a great card. I think in one draft event that I did, I milled out my opponent using a bunch of Merfolk's Secret Keeper. Alright, on to the uncommons. We've seen you before. Elite Headhunter, Redcap Melee, Kemner's Transformation. I think this card might have some value over $1. And Once Upon a Time. So green looks to be probably a focus with a forest and a rat. So green and something else. Looks like those are going to be my colors. 7 Dwarfs. This card has had some value, but I think it's dropped down under $1. Fairy Guidemother, Run Away Together. Garenbrig Carver, Festive Funeral, Dwarven Might, Lochthwain Paladin, Gingerbrute. Great card. Evokes some memories. I think it was reprinted in Wilds of Eldraine. Trapped in the Tower, Golden Egg. Those are the commons. Uncommons, Covetous Urge, Inspiring Veteran, Trail of Crumbs, and Folio of Fancies. A fun card that you can use to mill your opponent out with those Merfolk Secret Keepers that I mentioned before and a Folio of Fancies. It's a good way to have your opponent lose the game because they don't have any cards in their library. Forest and a food token. Alright, final 2 packs in this pre-release kit. And I'll put together the deck I would have played if I were attending the pre-release all the way back when Throne of Eldraine was released. Bloodhaze Wolverine, Fortifying Provisions, Garenbrig Carver, Festive Funeral. Saw these cards just in the last pack. Trapped in the Tower, Golden Egg, Idyllic Grange, Garenbrig Paladin, Eye Collector, Scalding Cauldron, Oakham Ranger, Heraldic Banner. I believe this card has value over $1. Slaying Fire, and Ironcrag Feet. It's the rare. With a mountain and human. Not quite sure what the other color is going to be. Maybe it's going to be a green-red beatdown deck. Alright, final pack. And then the pre-release card. Seven Dwarfs. Seen you before. Outflank, Opt, Reaper of Night, Return to Nature, Mareleaf Rider, Hengewalker, Searing Barrage. I think I'm spoiling a rare coming up. Beloved Princess, Charmed Sleep, Uncommons, Shine Acer, Sir Conrad the Grim. That does have value. I know that for a fact. I think maybe close to $2. Sage of the Falls, and a Mythic Planeswalker. Well, that's pretty good. Garrett Cursed Huntsman. For 6 mana, enters the battlefield with 5 loyalty. For 0, create 2 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. I've only got one. -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. And then -6, get an emblem with creatures you control, get +3/+3 and have trample. That will probably win most games. Okay. A plains and a stupid ad card. All the tokens have ads on the back. Why can't it just be a token with an ad on the back? Okay. I think I'll still hold on to that code, reveal it a little bit later. I believe I got a little bit of a peek that my pre-release card is a green card. And it's Once Upon a Time, this pre-release foil, which is pretty similar to the Once Upon a Time that I got right here. So I think at one point this card may have been banned in Standard. Don't quite remember. All right, I'm going to go ahead, clean this up, come back with the deck that I would have played if I were attending the pre-release event. Okay, I'm back. Before I get into the deck tech on the deck I would have played if I were participating in the pre-release event, I'll go ahead and give away the arena code. There you go. I don't play arena, so hopefully you're able to use it. If you did, in the comments below, please let everybody else know that you got the code. Okay, my deck tech is a green-black deck. Shouldn't be surprising based upon the rares that I pulled. Going through the creatures, I'm going to run a little higher on creatures because of this foil card you see right there. Gingerbrute, great card. You can put it in any deck. I really like its ability. Put some pants on it, wins the game. Cauldron Familiar, it's a 1/1. It's going to die, but I like its ability because I can get some food out there, sacrifice the food, and get Cauldron Familiar back from my graveyard. So based upon that, I can get 3 to 4 damage off of this card alone. 1/1 flyer, Eye Collector. It's going to get in some damage, but I hope to pair it with one of my later cards to get some additional damage dealt to my opponent. Order of Midnight, I'm going to be putting cards in my graveyard. This allows me to get back a card from the graveyard and then get a 2/2 flyer out there. I'm running low on instants and sorceries in this pile, but because I have a number of adventures, that's why I like the ability. I can do the instant or sorcery first and then get the creature later. Merryleaf Rider, nothing great about it. Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, my first bomb. Might be a little bit hard to play because of the 3 green pips in its mana value, but I've got plenty of creatures. Hopefully it's going to grow big and I can just get in damage after damage. It is going to be a target for removal. Clockwork Servant and Hengewalker, 2 cards with Adamant. Hopefully I'll be able to use the Adamant ability to get the additional card or +1/+1 counter. Locthwain Paladin, Wicked Guardian. It's an interesting card. It'll come in, does 2 damage to one of my creatures, but if I choose to do that, I can draw a card. I probably will choose to do it. Garenbrig Carver, I have 2 of these. I love the front half, which is a combat trick, +2/+2, and then on the back side I've got a creature. Garenbrig Paladin, this card can win some games if I can get the counter on it. It can't be chumped, and it's going to take out a lot of the bigger creatures my opponent has. Sir Conrad the Grim is a great card. It sits on the battlefield as a 5/4, which is decent stats. I like the triggered ability. Anytime another creature dies, a card goes into a graveyard, or I have a creature leave my graveyard, it's going to deal 1 damage to my opponent, and I have the ability to just start milling cards to get in that damage if there's a board stall. Prophet of the Peak, I debated about keeping her out. I do like the scry ability, and a 5/5 body with 6 generic mana is good to have on the battlefield. Reaper Knight, a little overcosted Mind Rot, but I think it's okay because the games are going to go longer. If I can take away my opponent's resources and keep my resources up, it's going to be good. It's a 4/5 body for 7, which isn't great, but if I can get my opponent down to just 2 cards in hand, it's a 4/5 flyer. My second bomb to go along with Yorvo is Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, 6 mana planeswalker, 5 loyalty. It's going to create 2 creatures off the bat and add a loyalty counter, which is going to trigger Yorvo, get it bigger. I'm light on creature removal, so the second ability is going to probably be what I use most often when I cast it. Get rid of a pesky creature or the bomb my opponent controls. I do like the emblem. The emblem is just win more. If I can get to that point where I have an emblem, I have a ton of creatures, I'm going to win the game. So it is a good card to play on turn 6, especially in sealed to close out the game. Spell wise, I'm only running 5 spells. A lot of the adventure cards are spells, but just spells alone. Foreboding Fruit, I may need to draw some cards to keep myself in the game. Once again, if I can get that adamant, I'm going to create a food token which fuels my Cauldron Familiar. Bacon to Pie is my other removal spell. It's a great card in Throne of Eldraine Limited. Canada's Transformation is interesting. I can use it to shut off my opponent's bomb, but I have a lot of smaller creatures. I don't mind casting this card on my smaller creatures, turning them into 3/3s, and it replaces itself by drawing a card. So it's versatile. Either use it on my opponent's bomb or use it on my smaller creatures. There are pesky artifacts and enchantments in this environment. I don't mind main decking this card, especially in sealed, and occasionally I'll hit one of my opponent's cards in their graveyard. It could cause me trouble if they're a deck that does a lot of recursion effects. I love Golden Egg. 2 generic mana, enters the battlefield, immediately replaces itself with a card. But I am going to need at some point either another green to cast my Yorvo, or I'm going to need a color to get an adamant effect. I don't mind playing it, and even if I don't use it, I can always just cash it in for 3 life. Finally, I will be playing Castle of Garenbrig. I'm going to have forests. I'm going to play 18 lands. It's a 41 card special. I'm probably going to be playing 10 forests and 8 swamps based upon the colors that I need. Let's say I've got to cast my Yorvo. I might have to wait until turn 5 to do that, but I can use Castle Garenbrig to cast that Yorvo because I can pay 4, tap this, and have 6 green mana to cast out Yorvo. Alright, that was my pre-release kit from Throne of Eldraine. I think it's a pretty good deck. I think I would do pretty well in sealed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and share. Tell me in the comments section what you think about my pulls for my Throne of Eldraine pre-release kit. Until next time, when I'm back to crack some more Magic the Gathering.